going to
So you're just Bruce Buffer.
let's get this thing started. It just says let's because I've got the font too big. All right, transitioning
Let's.
now. All right.
All right, we're live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome. Well, if you guys are hearing my voice, then you are on LSD. You're not on drugs. You've wandered into the lonely screen delicatessen. Come and join us this evening. I, your host, as always, Andrew. I'm one half of the big fat super group, the Midnight Fires, and my co-host, as always, my production guru. If I am the seed of creativity, he is the soil, Mike Novolozo. And our special guest, my particular, sorry Gabe, this is my favorite Lord of Thunder, the man who brings the beat every time, who brings the bass, who thickens the room, Kevin Johnson, the bass player for Spread the Dove, and a great buddy of mine. Guys, so nice to see friends' faces while on quarantine.
Sir. Yeah, man. I haven't seen anybody in a while, bro. I've been locked away.
I just been building Legos all fucking day with my kid, man.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
And realizing I did not have the patience to be a teacher.
Yeah. Very few do, man. Very few do.
What a weird, way to spend this chunk of the year where everybody had, this is like a height of people doing shows, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's just like everything's. This is like one of those things that when you hear your grandparents talk about, oh, it used to be this way or that way before this or that. This is one of our, I think, moments like that where it's like, oh yeah, things that changed things for a weirder, a weirder world.
Definitely. It's one of those things. It's before the corona and after the corona. You know what I mean? Like before 9/11, after 9/11. One of those.
Absolutely.
It's a before time and an after time.
Absolutely. It's a weird. Now, Kevin, we've talked with Mike about this earlier in the week, and this is going to be our first. It's our lightest subject. This is going to be our first one coming up. The Tiger King. Have you seen the Tiger King?
I mean,
how do you feel about the Tiger King? Have you seen tigers? Have they seen a man?
Carol Baskin.
Did Carol Baskin do it? You got to tell us your take on the whole sitch.
I mean, she definitely did it.
Right.
Yeah, right.
The sardine oil comment, I think, was
the sardine oil comment was it.
And the sardine oil memes are on fire, like the Kevin Hart. It's like, anybody else? Anybody else? Look at this. Anybody else see this?
Yeah, no, those comments were the gnarliest ones. Sardine oil. Fucking, I gotta get my Joe Exotic eyebrow ring on. Fucking. Now, that goddamn bitch, Carol Baskin.
That goddamn bitch. Yeah, man. Like, well, I was telling you guys actually. So in the second episode, the Scarface dude, his spot's down in the Redlands, man, and you can actually get in there. You have to go online and you make an appointment, man. And they got different. It's priced, so like, I just did the basic one, and there was actually a Groupon, buy one get one. So,
right.
So we went. Nice. Yeah, he's on Groupon. Yeah, it's not that hard to get into.
Yeah, but she made a big deal about it. She's like,
Carol Baskin,
you guys can try, but I don't know of anybody that's been able to infiltrate it. Like, really?
I infiltrated
it. For money.
Yeah, for money. It's that easy.
So interesting to me about that documentary as a whole, and I was saying this with Mike last time, and I'm pretty sure this thing's going to pull out my eyebrow. What I was saying to Mike, too, was like, it actually reminds me a lot of being in the music world at a certain level, because everybody you meet, the minute you're like, oh, this is a cool guy, at least a large percentage of people, because we were lucky to come from a pretty cool community.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people, especially those like weird outliers, you meet them, you're like, oh, this is a cool person. And as soon as you start to think like, oh, I can relate to this person, you're like, oh, this is a fucking creep.
Yeah. They killed their husband.
Shit. Like,
their husband goes missing.
That documentary was like that over and over again. Every time you're like, oh, yeah, this guy I can relate to. Then you're like, oh, okay. Not so much.
Except for Scarface.
That thing was like an onion, bro. Like, you started out like a tiger documentary, and then it got, I don't know where it went, but
it got real weird real quick.
It didn't end where it started, bro. That's for sure.
My favorite of all, the whole thing is not necessarily the words, because it's an old Ron White joke, right? Where he's like, well, when you like watching porno, do you like watching a little flaccid dick, or do you like watching? But not just him saying those words, his expression, his joyful mischief. He looked like the Norse god Loki, not in that Marvel shit, like the real Loki, like the mischief in him. I'm gonna suck this young dude's dick. Like he had a vibe about him that he was like, that's worked a lot of motherfucking time.
Yeah. But
that line and the tiger.
Dude, do you really think he gave him that line though? Because one thing I realized about that dude is like Joe is Joe's biggest fan, and that dude ain't about to let truth stand in the way of a good story. You know what I mean?
That is a fair fucking point right there.
Like, you know what I love? My favorite part about that is his wardrobe changes. Like, lady gets her arm bitten off. Dude's got a paramedic jacket.
Bro! We didn't even discuss that last time.
No, his boyfriend
but I think
pops
it was
himself in the head. Dude's up there dressed like a preacher,
yes,
talking about when his balls hit me in a big old balls right in front of his mom in the front row.
Oh my! Well, see, and that's when you just said that he's his biggest fan. You can see the best example of that in the "Because You Love Me" music video, where he's just walking up to people and touching them like he's Jesus healing the sick, like just touching people on the back. He's one of those dudes that if he walked up and touched my kid, I'd be like, "What the fuck did you just touch my kid for?" Fucking that scene right there is a great example of the personality trait you just highlighted, where he's fucking just like, "Yeah, it's all for me, baby."
Yeah.
Like, he's fucking.
The whole thing, his whole internet TV show, and like, he definitely burned down the Gator house, right? Like,
He's, but the thing that I think is funny that like some people act like he's totally innocent, but I'm like, no man, like he's fucked up too. You know?
I don't think anybody in that whole thing is innocent.
Yes.
I think
I think the most innocent one is the Scarface.
Yeah, dude who already did it.
Yeah. He's like, I already got caught.
He wasn't innocent by any means. He just wasn't putting on a veil that he was in. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like,
growing up in a
I killed that.
He's like,
he didn't kill the dude. Right?
Yeah.
His whole explanation. But his whole explanation was so fucking great where he's like, what was I going to tell the judge? That I wasn't there?
I wasn't there?
Maybe I didn't use the circular saw. Maybe I didn't shoot the guy, but I was in the place.
I was like, no, Judge, I did not use the circular saw to dismember his head from his body.
Shit I've heard. I felt like I was at home, like at a family function. Like when he was breaking it down like that, I'm like, I've heard that fucking explanation before. Like, what was I gonna say to my wife? I didn't fuck her. I did fuck her. Like, and then the guy who was sitting in an office chair in the middle of a field with a monkey in his lap.
Yeah.
You know that guy. The guy who's like, I don't give a shit about how Doc Antle trains.
Do you think?
I want to know how he trains them bitches. That guy was real as fuck.
They must have let the people they were interviewing pick like where they wanted to get interviewed, right? The one guy in the bathtub and the other guy in the he's like, listen, I want a monkey, and I want to be in the middle of a field. All right, that's where you interview me. Like,
it's like Chubbs on the fucking jet ski at the end.
Yeah. Why is he on the jet ski at the end?
He's like, at the end of this,
I want this badass video of me on a I'm gonna.
You know what it is too? It's one of those where you ask that guy, he's probably gonna be like, "Where else are you gonna get HD footage of you cutting it up on a fucking jet ski?" Let me ask you, why would I waste that opportunity, dude?
Oh no.
And then the other guy, the producer of the reality show itself, the guy who was like a legit newsman, who kind of had that fall from grace look to him. He had that like. Remember that guy who was like a homeless guy they found years ago on the side of the road, and he had that fantastic announcer's voice?
Yeah.
That's who that fucking guy reminded me of. Where it's like, you're like a hair away from a boxcar hobo,
right?
You have credentials. That's it. That's all that's fucking separating you from these creatures.
Just straddling that line.
And he's like talking about like how to go in therapy afterwards. How to go. It's like, motherfucker, you were smoking meth and fucking with tigers, just like all the other weirdos at that circus. Fuck you.
My dog was terrified when the lions attacked. Shut
when
up,
the
dude.
lions would roar.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ, that's great.
I feel like I need to rewatch it. Like like when you watch it like any good piece of art, like the second time you look at it, a new layer is revealed, right?
Yes, that second watch is
any good train.
You're looking at so many different things at that point. Catch all these nuances.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucking hysterical. Fucking, it really is true. And have you checked out all the online footage that somehow, even though that their fucking place burned down, there's a lot of those episodes of Joe Exotic are out.
Oh,
no,
I didn't know that.
Well, they weren't just those episodes, right? It wasn't. It was behind the scenes.
It was
shit.
his behind the scenes shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of dirt. That's why he burned to death.
That shit is out there, and he burned up Michael Jackson's alligators.
Oh,
that's what another weird fucking wrinkle.
Also, a bunch of those tigers were Britney Spears tigers, and there's footage with Britney Spears with Doc Antle and Carol Baskin.
Oh my God.
They're all in the same game,
The
man. They're
plot
just
thickens.
cartels rivaling each other. That's what
Yeah,
they're,
yeah.
tiger cartels.
Also, I don't know if you know this, but Carol's first husband is also missing.
I remember
Huh.
you telling me that last time.
This
Yes.
is
First husband's
but,
missing,
but
and
missing
second husband's
missing. You
missing.
mean like
Like,
got ate
yeah,
by a
yeah,
tiger?
yeah. He got eaten by a
got ate
fucking
by a
tiger too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
she
Michael's
married.
gone.
Yeah,
Michael, I think his name was Michael. Michael's
yeah,
gone.
They're not missing because you're not gonna find them.
yeah.
They're
They're
gone.
missing forever.
Dude,
They don't exist.
I'm trying
just
to tell
again.
that to as many people as I can. Like, the two husbands are missing, not just
Dude.
one.
Yeah,
That
there's a
lady's
pattern
stone
here.
cold.
Oh,
And
yeah,
she
yeah.
went and got herself an ice cold paper pushing assassin to marry because that her
Oh.
fucking her new husband. I don't buy all that. He's scared of her, so he's treading lightly. That dude is like, oh, I found a nice bitch. That's what I wanted. I found a cold-hearted killer, and that's what.
Yeah.
That dude is the coldest one out of all of them because he's like, well, we felt like it was justifiable to go after his parents' property. You don't turn away when you're winning a battle, when you have a great victory in a battle.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
go for the throat.
Oh yeah,
Mom's
man.
trailer was a great victory. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's
That
why
dude was a shark.
Joe's in jail. And that dude's walking around still. He's probably still got his tiger sanctuary, right?
Bro, fuck yeah. Him and Carol,
Yeah.
they're although I feel like the one doing the best out of it afterwards is fucking Doc Antle.
He got
Yeah.
raided, but
He
he's,
but
not,
they,
he's not in jail.
From what
I'm
I
sure
heard,
that he's been raided before.
Yeah,
right, from what I
that's
heard, they literally the raid was people coming to check licensure of some of the animals that he had.
Okay, yeah.
And that kind of thing. And because
So-
again, it's all spin, just like the
And
media
he's-
with Corona and all
Of
that
course,
shit.
of course.
It's all spin. So great
They got
segue.
to
Squeaky
they got to
clean.
do a season 2, right? They got to do a season 2.
Well, they're
Who's gonna
saying
sign the fucking waivers?
exactly.
Though?
But
Ooh.
everybody but
they will. When they
everybody
see those
but
checks,
Carol
baby.
would.
When they see those checks
Right.
coming in.
No,
this thing
everybody
is-
but Carol would, because she doesn't.
No,
need
Carol
the
would
money.
do it too.
She doesn't need the money.
She
Carol might
probably
not
want,
want
but she
to.
probably want to put her spin on it. So get in there and like let you
They're
know what I mean?
suing for defamation.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
she's
yeah,
actually
sure they
are.
because
Sure they
I
are.
feel like she got fucked the hardest because that bitch got away with murder. She
Yeah.
got away with murder, and now
Well, she
after
should
this
shut the
fucking
fuck up and
goofy
just-
documentary,
Just do it. Just do it again. Yeah.
if she would have just if she wouldn't have done the documentary,
I-
it would have
I
been
bet-
all Joe looking crazy calling her out. Once we got to see her, it was like, "Hi, cool cats and kittens."
Oh.
And you're like, "Oh, okay."
Hate.
Yeah.
Mm.
So much hate.
And the memes, God Almighty, the memes, they've been amazing. They're the hero we've needed in this time.
Oh.
Tiger
Can you
King.
imagine? I was thinking about like everybody's complaining, but like if this would have happened fucking 20 years ago, we wouldn't be able to. I'd go crazy, dude.
Could
Like,
you imagine, bro?
At least we're quarantined.
1995.
Yeah.
Oh god.
At least we're quarantined with the internet. Like the internet.
Like,
Like I hate hurricanes when the power's out. I'm going crazy. I'm going
Well,
nuts.
the difference with that is that when you're a kid in the hurricane season, it was fun to go out and be like, "Oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
fucking tree fell
Yeah.
down.
Well,
We saw an alligator in the
Yeah,
street."
because I don't think you were aware of like the fact that this storm could wipe
Like,
everything
kill
out. You were
you.
just like, oh, cool. We don't have to
Yeah.
go to school.
Right.
Like it's dark in here all the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
And the
then like
aftermath was fun. After
Oh,
the
yeah.
storm fell,
I remember
a
after-
couple bucks cleared their neighbor's lawn off or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. Now
No.
with this, people can't go. Now they're saying you shouldn't even leave your house without a mask. I know, Mike,
Yeah.
you don't think it's real. Fucking.
I've been going out. I've been going out and exercising, just riding a bike, but I'm not wearing a mask. But if I go to the store or something, I don't know.
I've only gone out.
Mike-
We go out once a week to get takeout. We're trying to patronize like a local business
Yeah,
once
yeah,
a
yeah.
week, and then I go out. I've gone out like 3 times in the quarantine for groceries. Just leave the wife and the kid here and go do that shit. People don't give a fuck out here in Georgia. It's a lot of church people, man. Like they don't. They're like, Jesus is fine. I'm bringing all 6 of my kids to Walmart, and Jesus is gonna take the wheel. And you're like, all right, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with Darwinism. I'm fine with some people.
Yeah.
yeah.
I say take the warning labels off everything, dude.
Right?
Bro, for real.
Yeah.
Swallow those Tide Pods, baby.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Like I struggled to like put into words how like what like my stance is on it, but then I felt like I explained myself to Michael last time
Yeah.
pretty well. So I'll tell you the same thing I told him. He's commenting on the video and he says, "Hey, what's up to Keijo, by the way?"
What's up,
so-
fucker?
I see it. I got it
Yeah.
going here on the.
Oh, you see it?
see it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. But so like, it's not that I don't think it's real. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. But like,
Yeah.
I'm the type of person where like it's real enough to where like I want to go on a cruise to Asia right now, and then come back and then do volunteer work
Oh man,
in as many old
no
folks'
man.
homes as I can.
That's you just see, but you don't really mean that. You're just fucking doing that thing that
I
you do where
mean,
you say the
yeah,
you say
yeah,
the fucking
yeah.
most
I mean,
ridiculous
like
shit
I just
ever.
that's
want
Just
some
I would
goddamn
it's called
zombies with
trolling, is
silver
what you're doing.
unrest.
I
You're
would
fucking
want to
trolling.
do that like if like I don't have the ability to do that, but like
Yeah.
I've had uh I've had unlimited income a few times in my life and I've just like it's not trolling anymore. Like when you do it, you're like I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to do this. Like
I'm
if I
just
had
gonna do
enough
it.
money, I don't know. I don't know. Like it's fun to
Damn.
do terrible troll things. But
I
like
will say
even
this to that: if I had unlimited income, I would have one of those Kurt Russell cars, that Tarantino movie, Death Proof, where
Yeah.
he could just crash the shit.
yeah,
And you know, when people act like they don't see you on the road. I
Oh
want to be
yeah.
like,
just
oh, I don't fucking see you either. Boom! And
you can
fucking
do
get.
that. You can do that. You can
I
go
mean,
to a
yeah, but
junkyard.
I don't need that in my life. I don't have the money for the insurance money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, if I had like Rockefeller dough, though, that's exact.
Yeah.
I'd just be creaming people on the curb.
And you
Oh,
can,
you didn't see me? You're just gonna cross and you put your baby carriage out there?
Yeah.
Boom!
and you can do it for like $300, man. You can go to the junkyard, get an all steel
Death
old.
proof my fucking Murano.
No, no, no. Like buy a fucking car that's
Yeah, you
running.
got to get an old steel frame.
Yeah, steel frame car, and just be
Like
like, what the
demolition,
fuck
like
are
if
you
you're
gonna
gonna
do to
enter a
me?
demolition derby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Yeah.
are you gonna do to me? And then just run people off the road and be like, all right, go until somebody runs me off the
But
road.
that's not the hard part. The fabricating the fucking death
Yeah,
car is
no,
not hard.
it's all the
the
legal
aftermath.
ramifications.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that
If
you
I
can
had,
only
like,
do it once and
DuPont
then you're
money-
going to jail for a long time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like that Daffy Duck. You can only do this once, and you fucking jumps off the thing. Fucking. You can kill someone with a baseball bat in the town square. Like you got one go. Like
Yeah.
fucking that's that. Fucking. But yeah. So with this Corona shit, man, like I've been doing a lot of cooking at home with the kid, making pizza.
Yeah.
Fucking building a lot. I've spent probably about $200 in Legos this month. Fucking
damn.
just buying Lego sets.
Yeah. Legos, I mean, they're not cheap,
Dude.
but they're pretty badass, man. Like
I bought
Legos.
myself a Star Wars one. Not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah.
Sat in my basement the other day and built the
Yeah.
fucking Mandalorian war party.
Nice.
They're pretty badass, man. Like, I've like, you know, you're in Target, you're walking, you gotta walk down the Lego aisle, you know, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Until you look at the price tag, then you're like, fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But then you're trying to justify it. You're like, well, you know, why should I have a $200 Death
Yes.
Star? Like,
Yes.
That's when you need to look at the piece
I'll
count,
work. Yeah.
and then go look on Amazon for the bulk, like buckets of Legos
That's
that
when
you
I've
can
been
buy.
buying the bulk shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can then you're
You need the
like, oh,
instructions.
yep. No, you can download the instructions online.
You
Yeah.
can download them.
You need any
Bro, now
instructions?
they
you
don't
just
even
hit me
give
up.
you instructions in half of them. You scan a barcode on your fucking phone.
Hey,
And
it's on
fucking,
there.
this is like we're like real
good.
soccer mom fucking talk.
Go
Right here. Fucking-
paperless, huh?
You scan a
Going paperless,
barcode.
yeah.
Scan the
you
QR
just do
code
on
and
the
it takes you
tablet.
right
Yeah.
there.
Fucking-
Paperless. It's green. We're
Well,
going
that's the
green.
other thing, dude. Like, so my kid, you know, she's bored out of her fucking mind. She's an only child. She's 5. She's like with me and her mom all fucking day. But now we're doing like virtual play dates to like what you were talking about, Kevin, about being
Yeah.
like trapped in our childhood in this kind of situation. She doesn't, this fucking bitch, I love my daughter, but Jesus Christ, she doesn't know what a commercial is.
I heard I was talking to you the other day and you were saying that shit.
Oh man.
When there's
Yeah,
like
that's
buffering
crazy.
lag, she's like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, calm the fuck down. We used to have to
Yeah.
sit and watch all the bullshit commercials when I was a kid. Calm down. We used to have to run home to get there in time for the fucking X-Men show.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Or,
she's
you know-
just completely instant
The worst-
gratification generation.
My dad at my house, we're watching. Commercial comes on. My dad's got the clicker. You know, we don't watch commercials.
Yes.
We're hopping to the
Switch,
next
switch,
show.
switch.
So you gotta hope that the commercials are synced up. Where like
Yes!
the one show you're watching goes to commercial when the other show comes back on, and so you can hop around back and forth. Because
So,
sometimes
bro.
you miss key plot points and you don't know what the fuck is going on.
That's
So
hilarious.
actually,
That
we're-
recall button got axing back in the day.
Yeah. Well,
no.
I mean,
I still
shit.
use
I remember
that.
the first TV we didn't even really have a remote. You had to get up and crank the thing,
Yeah.
dude.
Yes.
Dude,
Fuck
but
yes.
actually, I used to work in TV, and like, so now commercials happen on like since like 2002 is when I like worked for a TV station. It's like commercials happen on like at 12 minutes and 22 minutes.
Right, they're more
and-
formulaic now or whatever.
Yeah, but no, it's all stations. So I don't know if you've ever watched if you've watched like live TV recently, but did you know that
Really?
Comedy Central is staggered? Like if you see all their shows, they're staggered for that reason. Like they know that if you're
Oh,
one of the
people at
few
channel
people,
surfing.
yeah, if you're one of the few people that's watching real TV, that you have no other choice but to watch some other channel and them because their
Yeah,
commercials are on when other people's shit's playing
that's
and other
hey,
people's
that's
commercials.
smart,
Dude,
man.
that's super
That's
smart. They're the
smart.
only channel that's doing that. Like
Yeah.
I picked up on that right away. I'm like, why are they
I see what
staggered
these
every 20
motherfuckers are doing.
minutes
Yeah.
instead of like on the half
I
hour?
mean, dude,
Genius.
that's playing the game right there,
Yeah,
you
they're the
know?
only ones
Yeah.
Yeah.
playing the game. It's really weird.
Yeah.
That whole model seems to be like falling away. Like I don't watch really TV. I watch the
Uh,
Netflix.
It's
yeah.
free in my gated community, so I
Right.
just turn that shit
I've
on.
never had cable television except for a little while when I was like living in Tallahassee at college. But
Mm.
like I've never. So now I'm on. I got Netflix. I got
Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Yep.
I got Hulu, and I pay. Hulu has live streaming TV.
Yeah,
Right.
you can watch it live.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have that, and then Disney Plus.
That's exactly what we have,
about
and
it.
I watch mostly what I watch for myself is YouTube. I just
Yeah.
watch a bunch of shit on YouTube,
YouTube's
podcasts
cool.
and shit, and
Yeah.
that's I think the medium that look. I mean, look at us. We're three assholes, fucking in two states, fucking. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah,
can
man.
broadcast to anyone and everyone. Fucking,
Yeah.
But back to Corona, I'm fucking outraged that there's not been any civil unrest. There's not been any goddamn zombies. Can I get a fucking dozen zombies mixed into every major city, please?
Something.
Like
Oh,
something.
man.
Give me something.
Something.
Fucking just for fun, just to kill time,
Dude, I think like it's still early on. It's
right?
still
This is
Yeah.
true.
early on
This is true.
because it's only been what, 2 weeks?
And I
I
have
guess a
kind
month
of
theoretically.
and I have kind of like a Debbie
Yeah,
Downer for
but
you on the
when
civil unrest part.
oh,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I think
yeah,
that should like you
I
keep
don't.
motherfuckers locked up for we're getting to the point.
But
It's
are
been
we too
it's
comfortable? Are we as
well
a
that's
people?
that's what goes with saying like what we were talking about before. If we didn't have all these distractions that we
Right.
have easy access to, you know,
Right.
like I think it would happen sooner. But basic necessities. Like people can't get toilet paper now. Like when basic necessities start to run thin, and it
But
becomes
the
pretty
supply
obvious
chain
that
isn't broken.
yeah, but
So that's
people aren't making any money, so they're not going to be able to buy stuff.
true. Yeah.
Like
That's to me is the most dangerous thing of
yeah,
this whole thing, outside of the illness itself for the people who would be affected as far as like
right,
pre-existing shit, old people, whatever. But the idea that like there's going to be a spike in petty crime, there's no
right,
question about it. You know what I mean? You got so many people out of work. Look at all the industries that our friends work in, such as the music scene, such as we all know on one level or another, you got to beg, borrow, steal, kick, claw, and scream to make a living at a certain level playing music. Then
hmm
on top of that, you add all the fucking bartenders and bar backs and fucking waiters. I mean, there's a ton of people out of work on some
for sure,
shit right now. Like
for
Yeah.
sure.
that struggle is going to be coming up in about a month. You know what I
And
mean? Like,
yeah, because they were all living paycheck to paycheck anyway,
fuck yes.
You
And
and
once
know.
the pantry gets empty,
You know what's
yeah.
making me upset right now? Actually,
Mm.
is that Mike's commenting. He said New York's gonna pop off first. And what did Mike say? He was like, "I'm good for like every 2 weeks, man." But he's watching this shit live. I'm calling you out right now, Mike.
Calling you out, Morrison.
You watching
Can we
this shit
patch
live right
a
now.
fourth in here?
I
Call him, get
mean,
him in here.
I could, I'd have to cut to like I could load up a spread the dub video while I
Oh,
resize everybody's
no.
That's a great idea.
windows.
You want
But
to
I
do
mean,
it?
if he,
Ask him, Mike. Comment if you want to get pulled on,
yeah,
and don't be a bitch about it. I'll
14
come get
second
you.
delay, but
Me
yeah,
and Mike can tell tour stories of him.
I'll break through the quarantine and come get you, Mike.
We can tell tour stories
But
because
yeah, I mean, New York is ground zero as far as like the instances of
I don't know,
how many
man.
people have it.
New
You know,
York
and
is
all that
cuck
shit.
city. New York
ground
is
zero
cuck
for what? Civil
city.
unrest?
Yeah, it
Well, not
is.
just civil unrest.
No,
It's. I think you got so many people stacked on top of each other as an
Yeah,
issue.
I
You
think
know
that's
what I
why
mean?
the sickness is. That's why it's
That's
ground
why
zero for the
that's
sickness.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's very similar to how like Italians stack on each other. But like,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why Italy was hit
Italy
by
was,
it big
was
time
hit
too.
hard.
all
Yeah,
right, he says
yeah.
he's in.
Ha!
Put
Hold
me in,
on.
Run
coach.
coming
All
home
right.
drunk.
Let me let me find something to load up. Maybe you know what? I'm gonna
Run coming
fucking
home drunk.
You can play the video. It was filmed at Propaganda. Give
Yeah,
Propaganda a little plug.
that's
Donate some
right.
money.
We'll
Keep
talk about
Prop
Prop when
open.
Mike gets on
Yeah.
too.
Oh, I was going to play Here Kitty Kitty, but there now. Is that on Facebook, the prop video, or is it on
It's on
YouTube?
YouTube. Yeah, you can find it on YouTube.
Uh, donation video.
Yeah, man, I got some we got some funny stories because we bring Mike
Oh
we bring
yeah,
Mike on tour whenever we can. We bring Mike to
fuck yeah.
TM for us. So we got some we could talk about he went to the UK with us. So we got a
Dude,
bunch of
after
stories
how
from
much
that.
fun I had with you guys, just
Oh yeah.
briefly seeing you guys in New Orleans, fucking, I'm gonna be on every one that motherfucker goes on whenever I
Oh
can.
man.
I'm gonna fucking
Yeah.
slide out because that was just too much fun hanging.
How would I look
Dude.
it up?
Come spread the dub,
Yeah, spread the dub, coming home drunk in YouTube.
coming home drunk tonight.
And then we can play the video that Matt shot at the end of this podcast.
I've been looking
Yeah.
for that.
It's on their Facebook, I know
Yeah,
that.
on the props Facebook.
Yeah, it's too much for me to try and figure out.
Maybe Mike can pull it up or whatever and share it.
No, I mean like that's too much for me to like edit in.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
You can just put a link to the prop.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I think they got a GoFundMe or something.
But fucking, so yeah, that's what I think is going to be the biggest thing affected though is how many people are struggling in about a month. You know
Well,
what I
I
mean?
think that's why Trump's been pushing to get what does he say? Get America back to work. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
people are out of work for too long, man.
Shit's gonna get weird.
Yeah.
Shit's gonna get weird, man. And it's one of those things where if you've lived in any big enough city, whether it's like a Lake Worth, whether it's like an Atlanta or Miami,
He said
you've
no.
seen weird spikes and dips in crime and shit like that, and you know what it feels like when your city's in a bad place. You know what I mean? Like, and you can feel like a weird tension right now. You know what I mean? Like you go out into the world, there's a weird. Not, I mean, it doesn't help that when I drove through, I was in Decatur like a week or two ago or whatever, and driving through, you could see them setting up checkpoints and National Guard shit. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Please stand by while I try to get everybody back in.
We'll tell you when you get there. There goes another one. You can take the three or the one, whichever one you like. There goes, it's a hot dog again. Shoot the water gun.
Morning, baby.
Don't give me that shit.
What's the matter with you? You know we went out last night with the boys working on that track.
Out with the boys.
Yeah. Yeah, we crushed it.
You crushed it?
Let's
Funny,
see what
funny,
happened.
ghost of you.
We lost you for a minute.
Oh, shit. That ain't what it looks like, baby.
The funniest thing was that the way you froze. It was just like,
Caralho,
died. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Do it. Do it.
All right. Oh, I don't see him yet.
That's in the video.
Oh, in the video. Hey!
Yeah. All right.
There's that thick, handsome devil.
Okay, hold on. I got Let me mute my laptop and get headphones. What's up, boys?
What's up?
Mike?
Oh. well, I switched over because you were like doing something, and I came back. I missed that part.
And you started a fight. You broke my nose, and I got a DUI. I don't wanna get it.
Yeah. So, Keijo, how's the Corona apocalypse treating you down there?
Bro, like just trying not to go crazy. Like, it's like Groundhog Day. I got a schedule. I wake up, and I just try to exercise. Then I come and try to figure out something to make to eat. Practice a little bass, play some video games, watch some TV, go to sleep, do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Getting crazy, man.
Well, here in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna have some stuff for you to work on.
All right, cool. I need something.
You give me an excite, Mykal.
Hey, man, that Midnight Fire shit's going down, bro.
That's exciting. We're gonna
What
be
are,
like the hottest band of the apocalypse.
I swear to God, if the world ends before you get an album out, I'm gonna be really pissed.
What are the Moonshiners gonna do some
Bro, what a
some-
great
some-
pairing.
some
Now that the
originals.
Midnight Fire
We would have to
Moonshiners,
practice.
we could do some
We'd
shows.
have to actually have our first practice ever of all time. I don't know, man. We don't really work on that at all. It's just kind of like a show up and fucking play.
Gotcha. Are you
I'd
guys
like
trying to do any? Are you guys trying to do any originals with that or what?
Yeah, I'd love to. Mick had an idea the other. He was showing us the other day,
Yeah, it's
and then like we took
like 3
we
a.m.
took Try to Be and we do it in a country, and we took like Coming Home Drunk and do it in a country. So
No, I don't
Mhm.
want
we could do a couple of those,
You want
and then yeah, I'd like to write some originals. I think it would be cool.
Fuck yeah. And for what you just said about just throwing it together and coming and doing it, you guys sound
We-
goddamn good, dude.
We've never had a practice, dude. We've never
Nah,
practiced
man.
that. What?
Professional greats, one of the baddest bands in the land. I
Oh,
swear
no
to God, man. Like
No
people,
All right.
like I say that, and I mean, like I could be biased, but I mean,
You are
like,
biased.
but as far as like
No,
speaking
but you see,
objectively,
I mean, we've all
and
seen a lot
knowing
of bands play,
what
man.
it takes, and hearing
Yeah.
what people have done, like they're fucking top notch.
And it's,
Dubs
I've
is
seen you
top
guys
notch operation.
fucking
We're
drunk,
live.
having a bad day, fucking, you know what I'm saying? All the potential situations, and you guys still fucking bring
Yeah.
that shit every time. It's like walking through a locker room with a big dick. You can't escape it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are swinging. That's all it is.
Hey, man. You know, sometimes we got it. Sometimes,
Every time I see you motherfuckers.
I mean, I've never seen you all put in a terrible performance.
Right.
the only time you guys like seem
not
really
all,
rough is
not all of us at once. Like one member will have a fucking terrible show, and everybody's got to pick up
exactly
the
yeah.
slack.
Okay, so the first time we came back from New Orleans, when we had just fucking finished that grueling trip, and fucking Hunter's ass fucking booked you guys for a show the day up leaving. That was fun. So we pull into town, and we all have to get our respective vehicles, and we have to head over there. And like I'm about to leave, and I'm like getting in my car, we're saying our goodbyes, and Keijo comes over to the car, and he looks at me, he's like, "You're coming, right?" like he's like, if you leave and you go home, you're fucking dead to me.
I phrased it in a question, but it wasn't really a question.
No, it wasn't a question. It wasn't a question. He was like, "You're coming," and I was like, because I had two rights. I had two right to the left, and I was boogieing home. And Keijo was like, motherfucker, you want to run with this operation? We gonna show you today.
You stick to the job is done.
Oh, that was fucking hilarious.
Those kind of nights are
love
what it's
this.
all about, man. That's like really what it's all about. Like some of the funnest times are just anything you're doing in that world, getting to be that and play music. Like sitting with Mike in fucking propaganda at 3 o'clock in the morning, starting practicing, and then being like, "What time is it? Oh, noon. Fuck."
Time flies.
Nothing traps you in as like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing's as like you could just get lost in it so blissfully. Like, oh, god damn, what a gift. That's what I can't wait to get back to.
That's why I'm going crazy. I know, yeah. Like without it, it's like a release, you know? Like you gotta have it, otherwise
Yes.
you gotta get going crazy, man.
No,
It
dude,
definitely
I haven't worked
definitely
out
puts
in,
it
like,
into
a week and a half.
perspective, like that you really like it, no matter like how grueling your days are. Like when you guys do 2 days, you guys are doing 2-3 hour gigs in a fucking row. That's that's absolutely brutal. That's Iron Man
Marathon
shit.
shit.
We've done more than that too. You know, I think that's the most we've done is like 3. I want to say 3 shows in the day.
Jesus
Or like-
Christ.
Or you know, when we do like 6 shows in 4 days or some shit like that, you know? Like
Yeah.
we've done that a couple times. But we're trying not to do that anymore. We're getting too old, man.
I remember when I was
Your
in
liver's
FLA.
getting too old.
I remember when I was in FLA doing 4 shows a week, and that was like fucking like my band would be wrecked by that 4th, 5th show. They'd be fucking, especially if Gabe wasn't there for a show. It was problem city. It was real issues. We drank more than we made. We fucking people fell off stages and shit. Problems were had. Whenever Gabe was not on scene, there was issues. Every motherfucker. That's the dynamic. When I went to see you guys in NOLA and hang, talking to Mike beforehand, I was like, "Yeah, we'll chill, whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be busy. I gotta wrangle these motherfuckers. It's no cakewalk, fucking hanging on everybody." And it's like, oh, that's gotta be the best part of it too. At the same time, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
All the
that's
fucking
why-
ridiculousness.
That's why we bring him, man. Let's say we got a few stories of why we bring Michael.
Let's hear one, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Take one.
want to tell him how we saved the van in England?
Oh
That shit
yeah.
would've been-
So you want to start it or you want me to start it?
But you could go.
All right. So we pull up to Welcome to Boomtown. This is huge festival, awesome festival. Like they literally build a city in the middle of southern
Of a city?
southern UK. Yeah, it's like its own independent city. It's this
I know,
massive
I'm just
festival.
fucking-
Anyways, we go there and we get there a little. I wouldn't say that we get there too late, but we got there a little late to check in. Needless to say, they didn't have our authorization to get into the artist camp and all our tents and all that stuff.
Yeah, we did some weird program. Remember, like we didn't travel with the tent. Obviously, we needed a tent, so there was like a program where you could buy a tent and it would be set up for you. Like I guess they go around and they keep the ones from last year. So we didn't have they wouldn't let us into artist camping, and we had that tent, and it was like way on the opposite side. Remember, it was all the way over by the Lions Den?
the way on the furthest point away from there. Plus, my credentials were fucked up. I didn't fucking have those, but we actually talked our way in. We were like, "Look, motherfuckers, we flew over here from fucking America. We're Americans.
America,
We're
we're
the
Not a big deal.
That's basically it. We big dicked America style to get in,
And they're
to
like,
get me
"You're
in
banned."
anyways. So we go there. It's fucking freezing, okay? we go
We're from
to
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
We go to sleep. Well, no, everyone else had their fucking their sleeping bags and all that shit. I didn't, but I had my good jacket. So we're sleeping, and I'm like, fuck this shit. First thing, we're going to get our fucking credentials straightened up and all that stuff. So we go over. Me and Keijo, we're up first light, not fucking around. We go there, and they're just trying to fucking give us a fucking run around, and we're like, look, motherfuckers, we're artists. we're Americans. Let our American asses in here.
Yeah.
we
So,
get our shit.
wait, all of our equipment, all of our
Everything.
the
The only thing
bases
we
and all
have are
is still in the van that we parked in like regular parking outside, right? Because the artist parking, they let you drive your van in. That's the whole thing. So we had to park our van out in like general parking with all our shit in it, and then go in and spend the night. And then so me and Michael in the morning, we got to get the shit so we can go back and get the car and drive the car in. So we get that, and we get into artist camping. We're all set up, and like what was it, the next day or some shit? Like we were me and I want to say maybe
The
Ryan
Last
were off like
Airbender.
watching uh watching a show, watching a band, and all of a sudden we see like black smoke up in the air, and Mike texts us. He's like, "Get back to the camp," you know?
billowing. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Like a
guys,
big fire.
I was like, we got it. I was like, there's a massive fire starting somewhere we don't know, and I was like, everyone get back to the van because if we got to bug out, we got to fucking bug out.
So somebody had left a glass bottle in their car, and the sun hit it right and caught their car on fire. And
Holy shit.
it burned like what, like 20 cars or something. All
No,
these
more
cars
than
caught on
that. It
fire.
burned like 40, 50 cars.
Yeah. And I swear to God, if me and Mike didn't go get the van, I'm pretty sure our van with all that shit.
Our van was right there, right next to that fucking fire. It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we hadn't fucking been diligent, yeah, all of their equipment would have been burned down. The rental van burned down. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It was absolutely crazy.
That sounds fucking hilarious. Fuck. What else? Give me another one. Give me something juicier. Anybody ever get their dick stuck in anything? Give me something.
No.
There's certain stories I can't tell. One I can tell is we're this is back in the UK as well. This is before we got to the festival, and we were in Camden, and so we're at this bar, and I told the guys, I was like, look, I got a line on stuff, like if you need anything, let me know. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Like a good TM, like a good tour manager does.
You know,
He's like, yo,
like it's well.
you need anything, you come to me, let me handle it.
Yeah, my boys need some smoke. I got you some smoke. So,
oh, by the way, during this whole time, tell them about Bangarang though. Like, do we not want to out our? Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
we're gonna have to change the code word.
So I told them, I was like, if anything happens, anything at all, I was like, you fucking yell Bangarang and you fucking line up behind me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Mike's
I'll
instructions.
I was like, I'll take care of it. I was like, fuck that.
Nobody goes anywhere on their own, right? We're operating on the buddy system.
Exactly.
And then the other instruction is like, yo, if anything, just if you need anything, just yell Bangarang, and no matter where I'm at, I'll hear it, and you just get behind me, and I'll steamroll out of this thing.
So this story has to go with obeying rule number 1. No one goes anywhere alone. So one of our members, the guitarist, handsome feller, who actually ate out of a trash can.
Are you talking about that guy that blocked me on Facebook?
Yeah, that guy. So he decides to go and procure
all of our good
himself.
stories are about him too. Like all of our good stories involve him in some way.
I'm literally only on just to take care of the fucking mayhem that asshole fucking starts, or just keep him alive, or wrangle or find him. That's pretty much all I'm there for. Everyone else can handle their shit. So anywho, he goes off to fucking wrangle him some smoke. Okay, I'm actually fucking talking to 2 fine Indian women, which it's like the final frontier. I've never banged an Indian chick. So I'm like super stoked. And like they're super stoked on me. And I'm like, man, maybe this will happen. Not only will I bang an Indian chick, I might fuck 2 of them. I'm like, fucking, our unnamed guitarist fucking comes out all excited. He's like, dude, we gotta go. I got us some shit.
Why is he unnamed?
I'm like, okay. All right. So we wrangled the boys. It was getting late anyway. So I was like, okay, whatever. So we start walking down the street, and all I see is I see paper. It's like so you know those little Russian dolls that you like fucking that have like
Yeah.
a smaller doll, smaller doll,
Stacking
smaller doll.
those, yeah, the
So
Russian dolls, yeah.
so the unnamed guitarist he starts unwrapping.
We're gonna have to have him on here.
Maybe it's in the paper.
He starts unwrapping this thing, and like we're walking, and this is like happening for like several blocks, and he just keeps unwrapping until like me and Sam were like, "Yo, this dude got scammed. It's not in there," but he's still unwrapping and just dropping the papers right behind him, and they're floating. Just floating back behind him, and every time he drops a fucking layer of paper, I'm fucking dying. Literally. So he finally gets to the last one, and they don't even put oregano in it.
Yeah.
I swear to God,
It's
I
just
swear to God,
empty.
it was confetti. I
Yeah.
think it was confetti, dude.
It's just
Dude,
paper.
they motherfucked him so hard.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
That's hilarious, and I would also be fucking
yeah,
furious.
yeah. He was not happy.
But he doesn't get mad.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a good one. That's fucking hilarious.
Was he mad?
That's
I mean, I
fucking
do.
hilarious.
What's the
Yeah, he
other
was
one?
mad.
When we first pulled into London, and you tell this one, Kjo. When we
Oh.
first pulled into London, and our trombone player was like, "Is this a bad neighborhood?"
I mean, well, I don't even know if it was a bad neighborhood or not. I don't know. I think it was just not like the touristy part. Like that's all. We just got an Airbnb like in our price range. We didn't know like the area.
Sure.
We just got one in our price range, and so we pull up, and the guy's like, he's like, "Oh, I need an hour to like clean the place." So we went and ate at like some burgers, and Sam asked the lady, whose English is obviously not her first language. He asked her if this is like a good area, and she was like, "Oh no."
I don't speak English, but even I know. Oh,
Yeah.
this is a bad
She's like, "Oh
place."
no," but I think it got lost in translation. I think Sam was asking if it was like Soho or like like I think she
Right.
thought that, but because there was like people walking with their kids and stuff, right?
Sure.
Right?
Alright.
It didn't seem
Like
like
she might have took it as him meaning like, is this an affluent area?
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
wealthy
Or
area,
like,
whatever.
is it a specific neighborhood?
Right.
yeah, but he like freaked out and he was like, "Cancel the Airbnb. We gotta go. We gotta get a nicer place. Cancel it." And then so he's like saying that, and I'm like telling him to chill out, and he opens the trunk of the van, and like we had the ciders. We were on the cider game because in the UK the ciders are good. What was it, like that passion fruit one, Mike? That one was
Yeah,
good.
it's fucking it's the bomb.
That was good.
The
So like
bomb.
the ciders fall out on the ground, and I got pissed, and it was just like it was because he was freaking out and he dropped the ciders. I just kind of like open hand slapped him in the face, and but he kind of like it was kind of like the perfect move because he was kind of like he like snapped out of it. He's like, "Oh, all right, you're right, it's good, we're good." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Like we're like 7 dudes from Lake Worth, we walk around
Yeah.
Lake Worth. I was like, if you can walk around Lake Worth at like 2 in by yourself,
Yeah.
Hammer, you can.
You're
The
straight.
7 of us can
Yeah.
walk around here. Like
Yeah.
nobody's gonna fuck with us.
Yeah,
Right.
that's fucking great. That's hilarious. No, that's a huge part, I think, of like chasing the dream of like playing music and all that. Like the times you get to have just with your boys in general. Like
Yeah.
you can name it. Like when me and Marlon were shooting the episode of Chef'd Up that Mike is now my producer on. And we went to Colorado. We were like, fuck it, let's just do it. We don't have a guest forever. I'll bring Tommy Doughnuts. So on the ride there, I'm like, hey, I'm not bringing any smoke because like some of those spots like Kansas,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to go to jail in fucking Kansas. And
Yeah.
we're going to the land of smoke. Fucking.
Yeah. You're going
So I'm
to
like, well, you know
Colorado.
what I will do? I'll bring some cake. Now Mike knows about my cake.
Fuck that cake.
Oh.
Kevin, I don't know if
I
you had
heard-
an opportunity.
I heard the stories. I didn't get to try it.
So
I heard the tale.
we have breakfast in Tennessee. We're driving through southern Illinois by dinner time, or maybe like we're heading toward Illinois by evening. And I'm like, hey, let's fucking mac some of this cake before we eat some dinner. That'll that'll make dinner delicious. Like, what? Double down, right? So we eat the cake. By the time we're hitting Southern Illinois, we're hitting this like barbecue joint, and it's fucking kicking in strong. It's starting to where you get that like, whoa. And it's like, okay, all right, we're okay, we're all right. You're telling yourself you're in manual. You're like, you're fine, you're all right. Move the legs, move the fucking.
But it's at that point where you kind of have to focus on like making sure you breathe. Right?
You're breaking down specific tasks.
Yeah.
So, but see, I love that place. Like, I live there. That's my spot. Like, and I was excited. And Marlon had never had my cake before, and Tommy Doughnuts had it before, but we were out having a good time, and Tom was like, fuck it, we'll go for it. I'll eat as much as you guys are eating. And I ate how much I ate, and Marlon, I think, took that cue from me. By the time we got to the barbecue joint, Marlon looks at me and goes, mate, what the fuck is you putting in that cake? And I was like, just a lot of weed, man. He's like, mate, Jesus. And we get out of the fucking car, and we look back at Thomas, and he's fucking green as fuck. He's just completely pale, and his eyes are super tight, and he's like, I'm like, you all right, buddy? He's like, no words, just a nod. We go inside.
That means no.
I order so much barbecue. It's like this awesome Southern Illinois. I don't know, like Illinois is rednecky as fuck outside of Chicago, like especially to the south of it. And so it was like just a great barbecue joint. I wish I remembered the fucking name of it. And fucking, we go in, I order a ton of food, Marlon orders stuff, we're like excited to eat. Marlon kept on like looking at me, and Marlon, man, that guy, my brother from another mother, he can fucking party, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knows how to fucking, he can pace himself too, he's good on all levels.
He can pace himself.
He looked at me,
we won't talk about his birthday party.
He looked at me after fucking, he looked at me after we started eating that meal, and he was like, fuck, man, I have to go smoke a cigarette and get the fuck out of here. He gets up and bounces, and I'm looking at Tom, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm done eating too, whatever. Here's cash for a tip. If we got to bust the table, let me know. I'll come help you bust it. If not, fucking leave the tip for the bus or whatever. And Tom just gives me the nod again. And fucking Tom hadn't been saying shit that whole meal. I go into the bathroom to, like, throw a bunch of water on my face because I got to drive us through Kansas that night. And fucking, when I come back out, I walk out to Tom standing in the middle of the dining room with all of our trays of barbecue clutched against his chest and sauce all over him and shit.
No.
And he's staring at me wide-eyed. And everybody in the restaurant, very conservative Southern Illinois type people, are looking at us like, what in the fuck? And Tom looks at me and goes, I gotta get the fuck out of here! To the fucking wait station, and goes out the door where we find Marlon outside. And Marlon at this point is like in a great place, and he's like, let's get a picture. And we get a picture. I'm like happy in the picture, Marlon's smiling in the picture, and Tom's like. And then we're walking towards the car, and the sun's going down, and it's like beautiful, and there's like a big train going by in the distance. Like in the Midwest, they have those big long ass trains that cut through everything, and we're like watching it, and I just hear, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And Tom is just jiggling the fucking door handle. He's like, open the fucking door, open the fucking door. I gotta get inside this fucking seat. Open the fucking door.
Oh shit.
And that rest of that ride was pretty hilarious too. We kept just putting different hats on him and shit, and he would just stare at us angrily. It was great. Oh, fuck, man. But those kinds of days, that's to me what like a huge part of it. Like being on stage playing music is the ultimate like fun, but those kinds of moments where you just are giggling like children, like life.
I mean, you're only on stage for like that's a little bit of the time.
Right,
Most of the time when we're on the road, like fuck, it's just hours in the car. And Mike will tell you we're brutal, man.
You can't show any weakness, man. No one's safe. No one's safe. You could literally
if you do the littlest thing, like say you get in the car and before we leave Lake Worth, you do something so you fuck up. Like, you're going to hear about that shit for the entire time. Like, somebody will do something and you'll say something and then they'll be like, yeah, well, you fucked up like day one. Like, you did this. I I think I'm the only one who has the biggest faux pas that like doesn't get brought up in the UK. Like when I put the wrong gas in the van.
Oh.
You know, over there it's all diesel.
Yeah.
Diesel.
Oh.
So we pull up. In my defense, over here the handles for diesel are green, right?
Yeah.
Well, all the handles were fine.
Or
All the
green.
handles, yeah. Like
Yeah.
it was weird. I don't know.
Yeah, diesel's yellow. Diesel's yellow. Regular gas is green.
Yeah.
Huh. They
I
flip
fucked
it
up.
on you.
Petrol's
We
yellow.
we pulled up to one, and it was like on the side, and then we pulled around, and it was the wrong one, and I put the wrong fucking gas in.
no.
I put it in. I start filling it up. I didn't put that much in. Ryan, our drummer looks at me. He's like, "You put the right gas in." I was like, "Yeah." No shit. And I stopped, and Ryan all pissed. I was like,
Oh, get
Shit.
in
No, we didn't bust your balls. No, that
"No,
was
I know. Nobody busted my
I
balls
mean-
about it. Like, right, I should get my balls busted like the most.
couldn't do
like,
it.
the
No,
most.
man, I would
Nobody
have made the same mistake. I would be derelict in my duty as a human being to
Oh,
bust your
man.
balls on that.
It was
If-
Well, Hunter's
If I
pissed about it
did.
because we didn't get to go to Stonehenge because we had to sit and wait. I guess I'm not the only one to do it because there's like a whole service. Some guy comes out in a little
Yeah,
car
no,
and
that
like pumps
happens
your
all
shit
the
out.
time.
what did he want to
Happens
take
here,
pictures
too.
for his boyfriend? Fuck him.
I guess so. For the Instagram, bro.
I'm glad you broke the.
I would have loved to get pictures of Stonehenge too.
Yeah, I know. My bad. But next time.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna
Next week.
ask, like, with how sensitive he is, how does he last? Is that why you guys only do like quick tours, or
I don't know.
because he can't handle the reach?
No, it's not him.
Okay.
He gives it as good as he gets.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
He
No,
gives it out.
he's a player. He's a contender. He definitely gives and gets, man. He
He has to.
we'll
Because
bust.
he does the most shit to get. Right? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
mean, I wrote down I got notes and they're all every single
All right.
story.
What about Keijo? So this is when we were at Boomtown, same England trip, and we go to this bar in Leicester. It's upstairs. It's pretty nice. It's pretty posh, and we're all having a good time. I mean, there's like 9 or 10 of us, and we're sitting around, just having drinks, whatever. We're playing Jenga,
Giant
and,
Jenga, the big giant one.
and the game's getting intense, and Keijo's he's pretty fucking sauced up. He can handle the shit, but he definitely had to. And he goes to pull this piece, and we're like, Keijo, no, don't do it. The reason why is because whoever lost had to buy the whole party around.
oh wow.
So we're talking about like 10 shots. By the way, not bad. Everything in England is expensive except for their drinks. You could get like.
I don't even know because like I they would say an amount of money and I would just hand them shit. I'd be like, they got coins. I don't know what's a pound. They got
Keijo,
coins and shit.
It took me a year and a half to get out of the fucking red from that trip. That thing almost made me destitute. I've thrown around so much money I didn't have.
Oh,
I regret nothing. It was worth it.
So we're all like, dude, Keijo, don't do that. That is a terrible choice. He's like, fuck that. He's got his fucking Guinness in his fucking hand. He goes to fucking pull the piece.
It's like a full pint too. It's like basically
It's full pint. Just got a freshie. Pulls a piece. Of course the Jenga goes down. But in the course of the Jenga going down, he falls over an ottoman that he was sitting on. And
because in England in their pubs they have ottomans. Like in America we don't fucking knee high shit that can knock you down. Like you could step back and fall over.
Over the ottoman, through a door into a fucking fire escape. The fucking stairs.
oh my.
Jesus Christ.
Holy
Big
shit.
ruckus, big what to do, but he still holds up his beer. Didn't fucking lose a drop.
That's professional shit right there.
Legit pro.
So.
One drop.
Of course, all this hullabaloo is going on, and they have 2 bouncers over there that are upstairs, and they come over. I mean, what can I say about England? I think they're kind of soft, because Because I literally told, like, if anyone, like,
Oh, if
fucking
Marlon's
fell
on here
over,
on Friday, we're gonna have a rebuttal about that.
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
if anyone fell over
I'll
in
play
my
the clip.
bar and
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
making a big whatsoever, you know, and like, and
gotta
I come
go,
over
man.
to ask, and they tell me to fuck off, like I pretty much did to these guys. Like they came over, they're like, "Hey, what's going on here?" I was like, nothing's going on. I was like, "You guys,"
I
I
got
was like,
it.
you know, I was like, "You guys have a good one. Yeah, just go back to your post, you know, whatever." And they did. They're like, "Oh, okay, it's good."
Oh,
Like,
you're handling
what?
yours.
Not that we were in any trouble, but like we're fucking wicked hammered, and it was
And then
worth an investigation at least.
And then they sold me 10 shots of Jameson right after that.
Well, listen,
You stupid
you can't
American.
fault a nation for liking to have a fucking good time. I'll
Hey,
tell you
man.
that.
Give us your
You can't
American
fault.
money.
You know, island people, island nations love a good drink. I think because they live somewhere where all of a sudden, like a wave could fucking take everything. Like a one good wave, that's it. Fucking any island gone.
Potato famine.
Yeah, well, potatoes are gone. You know,
Potato famine takes out the whole damn island.
You can't figure out how to grow spinach. I get it. Whatever. Fucking, but like, yeah, fucking. I think island people know how to have a good ass time because of that, and English people are just cold island people, like cold water island people. Fucking, they know how to party. All my English friends know how to have a good fucking time.
Well,
You met
pop
James and
culture,
Naomi.
man.
They like to have a good fucking time.
Everybody.
When do you guys think Spread the Dub's going back over there? I know there's an open invite.
I don't know, man.
Definitely
So-
not this year.
Yeah.
This year.
Why not?
This year's this is a no. This year's a
You
this
should
is a
do
wash.
tour. You should do
Yeah.
a tour of the retirement facilities.
We should do a tour in Italy.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
do a tour of Italy first. Take a cruise through
It'll be cheap.
to Italy
It'll be
via,
cheap
via
as fuck.
China. Tour
Yeah, why don't we
all
just
through
do
Italy.
China? Why don't we start our tour
Yeah,
in Wuhan? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
start in Wuhan, go to Italy, and then just go right to London, and then hit the whole UK.
Oh god.
You're
Oh,
gonna call it your breakout tour. I mean, outbreak
Bro.
tour.
Only if we can get a gig at the market where they sold that guy the bat.
you gotta go to the Wuhan wet market. That's where you gotta your first show.
Have any of you been
Holy
there?
shit.
It's disgusting.
No, I haven't. I saw some videos or whatever online. I had to turn it off after
China's
they showed all
wild,
the
man.
That's one of
The
the
dogs,
cleaner ones.
like-
That's a cleaner one where they could
Yeah,
like walk
but
around too. Like,
Oh yeah.
ugh. China's gross.
I don't know. I think it's still kind of cool that places that are wild like that exist still, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Because you got to figure that's how it was. That's how it's
yeah,
been.
it's like some Wild West shit. You
Like
know
a
what I mean?
Yeah.
better, a better.
I'm picturing Deadwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wuhan Deadwood. Fucking.
Dude, a
Dave-
better.
I love Deadwood.
Deadwood.
Deadwood's one of my favorite fucking shows of
Oh,
all time.
Deadwood,
dude.
yeah.
Oh man.
I think you turned me on to that one. I think.
Cocksucker.
If you want,
Yeah,
if
swear,
you want to go
swear,
to
Dave,
like
you
China
cocksucker.
though, if you want to go to
Hunga-
like a place like
Hunga-
China though, without like having to go to China, because that's fucking terrible. Go to like Thailand. Like
It's
Thailand, yeah.
Thailand's not bad, and like
I want to go to Japan. Japan's my that's my
Japan-
bucket
Japan's
list.
not like the rest of Asia, though.
No,
Japan's
I
like its
know.
own thing.
That's why I want to go there.
Yeah. Japan's like going to a mall in outer space. That's the best.
Yeah.
way
but
to
they're
describe this
but
shit.
they're
But they got that. They
racist.
got cool. That's the futuristic sides of it. Like
Yeah.
like you
But
can
they're
go back.
racist.
There's very,
There
rural,
was.
very, yeah,
But they're very
very
racist.
rural places there too.
Oh,
They're like
I'm
Like
from
against-
Florida, man.
No, that's okay. We're gonna talk about
We're-
this shit right now.
You're
I'm
fucking
Asian.
racist down
Yeah,
I'm
Noveloso's gonna pull the Asian card. Get it,
I'm
Noveloso.
Asian. Everybody talks about how white people are so fucking racist.
Asians are super
You
racist.
have no idea the
Oh.
level of
Latinos are the same. We're
racism.
clannish as fuck.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
racism of like I'd say like Asian and Latinos are like the same, and then it's kind of like everybody else thinks that some other races.
Yeah.
I think.
It's like
Shit
more-
flows downhill, right? It's always
Yeah, but,
like,
Well, I think Asians
Well,
and
yeah, well,
Latinos
fuck.
have that interwoven racism where Cubans
Yeah.
think certain shit about different Spanish people, and there's all these different little weird cliques, and Asians are the same where they have their own hierarchies
Yeah.
and shit.
So like imagine this. It's like white people that are racist care enough to come up with slurs and like bullshit, right?
That Karen up?
No,
What
no,
the
no,
fuck?
listen.
No, get this. No,
No,
he's
no.
right. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Asians are more racist than the most racist clan member, like in like inter-Asian races. Like, if you fucking call a Japanese person Korean, they'll be like, "Do I look like I have Down syndrome? What the fuck did you just say to me?" Like, dude, and that's just like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Like, do I look like I fuck dogs? Like, it's like all this shit. Like, it's not like
Jesus
eating dogs. It's like it's terrible shit. Like if you say like to a Chinese person, like, "Oh, you look. I thought you were Japanese." They're like, "Do I shove eels up my ass?" No.
So show me
Like,
this.
like it goes like, and that's always just like, do I look like I'm like, and then laundry list
Something
of
horrific.
shit.
Yeah.
But then like you'll say like, well, like, what do you think about white people? Like, oh, like they're not even humans, so like they're not even worth.
See, there's.
like,
I was just gonna say there's
coming up with,
different
like,
kinds of racial shit like
slurs.
that.
But that's how
Where,
racist
you mean
they
we're
are. Like,
beneath even
Asian.
racial slurs?
Yeah, they don't even think about
There's
it.
sub-racial slurs?
yeah, like Filipinos are the lowest.
Like I said, I'm from Florida.
Asians,
They-
right? So like,
I probably
we're
deserve to be like fucking
No,
prejudiced
man.
against.
no, like,
Yeah,
for
the
real.
craziest shit in the world happens here, bro.
No, the craziest shit in the world happens
Florida,
in
man.
Asia. No, dude.
I guess so, yeah.
Dude, go to fucking Thailand. Blah. Like,
The craziest
I feel like
shit
I'm
in,
perfect for him.
in the U.S. happens here. You know the Florida man
Yeah,
stories.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
well,
not
Florida's
even
wild.
the craziest shit happens here. It's just weird, like, totally transparent with literally everything that happens.
We
here.
just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like,
So, like, in
reporting
the
it
state of
comes
Georgia,
out.
if you're arrested and it's your first offense and your first ever arrest, your shit is private. Like, it won't go on any websites. It doesn't, like, they keep all that shit private. In Florida, the minute you get booked, your fucking picture's on websites.
It's on a
They send
website,
it-
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
immediately.
They
And
don't
then
fuck-
and
they
like
don't give
2
a fuck.
websites. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's how I found out and had to go bail people out of jail before.
Yes.
We've gone on that website and been like, oh,
shit.
uh,
But no,
guess we
that's-
gotta go.
But like Asians are so racist. It's like, you know, like the crazy thing is though, like black people are to them are the closest to Asians. They're this is terrible. Black people are bad luck. That's all. They're
Yeah,
like,
I've heard that. They're
That's
bad
it.
omens.
like you can't. That's what I'm saying. Like you want to go to Japan,
Like a black cat.
but like they.
I can't wait to go to Japan.
You go to the touristy spots of Japan, Mike. You'll get laid like first, and then like you get laid second, and then like Andrew and I are like they're like I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know,
married eating
you're like
sushi and
weird.
shit. I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah. But I mean, but they would be like Andrew like they're like he looks white, but I think he's Spanish. Like, dude, they called me out for being
Well, the tattoos, right?
No, just
off
for
the
being
bat.
Filipino. They're like, you're
Yeah.
Filipino. You're not from America. And I was like, what? And they're like, your lip. And I was like, my lip? And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're very Filipino. And I was
Yeah,
like, I'm also
we're
white.
going after you like that.
Yeah. And I was like
Your
when I
lip-
went there, I was
this
young.
right here.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm like, but that doesn't matter. Like, I'm from America. I've like got an ID and all this shit, my passport. They're like, I guess.
Doesn't matter.
No, they're like,
I guess.
I guess. Come on.
I
Whatever.
guess.
In the meantime,
Spend American dollar.
yeah. No, they didn't even care about that. Like, that's in the
They really
touristy
don't dig
spots, you know?
tattoos. You can't go into the gym or into like a
No,
public
like,
pool or any shit
touristy
like that.
Yeah,
with
tattoos
well,
tattoos.
because that's
Some
like racist
restaurants
shit,
they
right?
won't
Yeah,
let you in with
it's,
tattoos.
it's football.
Touristy spots, it doesn't matter, especially if you're American. Like,
If you're like in like Roppongi or something like that, like those
yeah,
really
no,
super like.
as soon as you go outside of like the main strip in Tokyo, you're like Mike, you couldn't shop anywhere. I'm sorry, dude. Like they would just be like they're like leave now, bad
Oh!
luck. Like that's the
Oh!
only words in English they can say.
Hey man,
Leave
fucking
now, bad
hey,
luck.
fucking
Like,
what that fucking guy LeVar Ball's son fucking went over there and stole
like,
shit
it's
like a fucking
and that's the
asshole.
thing.
So
they're
way to
very-
represent you you Negro fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Careful on YouTube. We want to stay on YouTube, Mike. But
I said
anyway,
Negro. There's nothing
I know.
wrong with the word Negro.
I know. But,
I don't think it was the word. I think it was the context in which you used it. Negro
exactly.
fuck.
I mean, I meant it. I meant
Yeah.
I know. Listen, I'm not debating whether you meant it or not.
at least I'm honest.
Yeah, dude, this is definitely going. This is definitely our first clip that we're pulling. For our
We can edit
podcast
this,
clips.
right?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, it's posting live, but like I'm clipping this
shit.
part. I'm clipping
So
this part.
let's talk some UFC, K-Joe.
Yo, is he buying this fucking island? Or
So
what?
yeah, Dana White is talking about buying a fucking island so that he can avoid all this kind of bullshit with fucking.
I said,
CDC
like, I'm
and
pretty
shit.
sure this is a plot to a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Dude,
Yeah,
this is-
so you can make people fight
We
cages.
saw it.
Bald guy looks like
Mortal
Dr. Evil
Kombat.
buys a private.
It's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Shang Tsung out here gonna
He's
start
gonna
taking
fucking-
souls.
I'm
Take
so
souls and
excited
shit.
for this.
No, this is
so
so
excited. You have no
I
idea. Hey, I have an
I can't-
island. Tell him I'll sell it to him.
You have an island? How big is it?
My family. No, I mean
Oh.
they own like a large chunk of.
Well, you tell them. What am I gonna? You like? I know how to
I
get in
don't
touch
know.
with Dana
Man.
White.
I know somebody tell him.
Go on Twitter.
That's so
Hit
much
up on
bro.
But you know what I'm bummed about is that we don't get to see Tony versus Khabib. Like that fight's been booked like
Travesty. Yeah.
5 times. And,
5 times, yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
listen. I think. Do you want to go predictions? I think Tony would take it.
I do
You
too.
think
I
so?
think Tony's the most dangerous guy that Khabib would
I think he's
Yeah,
more
well, Tony-
dangerous off his back than Khabib is dangerous from the mount.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, yeah, he will make Khabib pay if Khabib
Yeah.
tries to fucking work on him, like try to pass his guard.
I was
He
gonna say, I
was
don't
He's got
fucking
think
make him pay.
he's got those elbows
I don't know if
from
Khabib
his
can
back.
pass his guard.
Oh.
He's
You don't think so?
active.
I think
He's so
Khabib can
strong.
pass his guard, but I think he's dangerous. Like
I don't know
He's
if
dangerous,
Khabib can
man.
pass his guard. I don't know if Khabib
That's a
can
bold statement,
consistently
man.
Pass.
Khabib, no one's saying that Khabib can't get him down and fucking
no,
keep
you don't
him
think
down.
he can pass his guard though?
I think he might be able to. Pass,
That's a
but I
whole
don't
different.
think
That's a whole
he
different
retains
game
it. I
too.
don't think he keeps it.
Because here's the thing. Khabib, the way he controls people is he keeps that body lock on you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how he controls you.
Human back.
How are you passing someone's guard when you're trying to keep that body lock and you're trying to avoid
Well,
those
he
fucking
gets it. He
elbows,
always has that body
elbows
lock.
coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
But he always has that body lock because he's good at getting mount. Once he wraps their legs, man. He
Yeah.
grabs their legs and keeps their legs.
I do
his
see
legs
that. Yeah,
under their
yeah,
legs.
yeah.
He
So-
uses
and then
his legs
he
like
fucking
another pair of
shimmies
arms.
up. He shimmies up. You know what? I was
Yeah.
talking to Corey about it. My buddy who's the purple belt that I was training with.
Right on.
He's huge into this. If you want to do like a fight companion thing,
Oh, that'd
he'd
be
be
fun.
down. Daniil was talking about it. But,
That'd be super fun.
yeah. So he was talking about it we were saying like that Khabib is like he reminds me of like a new age GSP where he's like got
Yeah.
real good top pressure
Yes.
and he just kind of grinds people out. He breaks their will with his wrestling, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
His
And
pressure, his cardio.
Yeah. Because he
I
doesn't
wouldn't say
really.
GSP. I would say Sean Shirk.
He does
Yeah.
have some Sean Shirk elements. He smushes people. He likes
Yeah.
to smush. But as to what we were saying,
In GSP, in the sense that he doesn't really go for like. He goes for like it's kind of safe the way he fights, you know, like
Yes.
top control.
Yeah.
he's getting more confident, I think, on his feet when he threw hands a little bit with Connor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was fucking brave.
I
Connor,
think that's
say
because
what
he
you
was
want, that guy can
super-
zap anybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
But I think he was doing that to prove a point, and
Yes.
because he's supremely
Yes.
confident in his wrestling, and the fact that he knew that he could take
Absolutely.
Conor down. Like,
Now, I think with the issue with Tony for Khabib is that Tony's so it's a combination, right? He's so active, he's so durable. Okay, he is a guy who is constantly working. So even on the bottom, he's looking to do damage. He's looking to cause problems. He's not a passive guy in any position.
Yeah, he's
And I
not
think-
buying time. Yeah,
And I don't think that we've not seen a guy that Khabib hasn't been able to break their will.
yeah,
And if he can't break Tony's will, which we haven't seen Tony broken, but the dude is a freak. I think
His gas
we
tank
might-
is amazing. It's
right.
like
it's an immovable force
it's
versus an
other-
unstoppable object.
it's a genetic anomaly. His gas tank.
Mexican
It really
fighters,
is.
bro.
It's just
Mexican
the
fighters
dude
are-
can
it's
keep
the,
working.
it's the Mexican fighters thing, dude.
Yeah.
Cain Velasquez had it. Remember Cain?
Yeah.
All those VO2 things he tested off the charts, right?
Yeah.
It's those Mexican
The
fighters.
Diaz
Guys.
brothers,
Dude,
bro.
I fucking
Yeah,
worked with
yeah.
those guys when I was moving
Yeah.
cinder blocks, man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, man, the fucking guys that fucking worked the hardest. I mean, they called me El Negro because I could pick up some shit. They were like, they thought I was some black superhero.
The
They were
black.
like, El Negro!
Well, you-
and I
you
would
are.
I would pick up a little that it like took 4 of them to fucking pick up.
Yeah.
And I'd pick it up myself. But as far as like all day, every day, fucking working, just like moving
Oh,
cinder
yeah.
block back and forth, you
Yeah.
will not outwork a fucking Mexican. I don't
Nah.
give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, dude. I have seen these dudes fucking 12 hours just moving block.
The only people that
Slinging
come
mud.
close,
Second.
the only people that come close at
Masonry,
all
yeah.
are the Irishmen of like 1919.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
You got to go back to another century to find
Yeah,
it.
you got to go to like gangs of New York Irishmen. They're right up there. But that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like John and Josh, Mike. Right? Didn't they work with you doing that too?
Yeah. John actually got me the job, but Josh, I think Josh may have worked with John a couple times. Never worked with me though. I don't think.
There you go.
Or maybe
Those kind of jobs teach you some
those
shit
are
about yourself.
that's Palm Beach County's Diaz brothers right there. Those guys
Oh yeah, let's talk about this. So I mean, I think Nick's been trying to get a fucking fight with Masvidal.
Yeah, that would be a really fun fight.
Nick, yeah.
That would be a really fun fight.
Dude, everybody keeps telling me they're like,
When's
"No,
the last
man,
When's the last
he's
time Nick
just
fought?
talking shit."
Nick
He
has
was
a
fighting in
for
promotions,
years.
but so Nick had a problem. He was on an interview and he had a problem with Masvidal talking about how he's gonna baptize his brother, and fucking Nick was like, yo, that's just mad disrespectful. Fucking pretty much was just like, let's run it. And I mean, like, let's talk about a money fight. You fucking beat the
That's
fucking
a fun
brother,
fight. The
and you
fans win
fucking
that one.
and you.
I mean, dude, anything with either one of those guys today is a fun fight. Like, I'll watch I'll watch any of the Diaz brothers fights, and Masvidal has become like must see shit after that knee.
Absolutely.
Like he got his start down here in with Kimbo.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Mike, Andrew, have you seen that? What's that? The one Billy Corbin did it. It's I forget what it's called, but it's about it's the documentary he did on the backyard fights.
No, I didn't know Billy Corbin did one of those.
I'll look it up and I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Like a bunch of the wrestling like stuff.
No, that's Corgan, Billy Corgan, the Smashing Pumpkins. I'm talking about Billy Corbin,
is the guy who did Screwball and the
Cocaine Cowboys.
Cocaine Cowboys. He's a documentary guy.
Yeah.
Oh, quick fun fact. I was born in the same hospital as the Diaz brothers.
Oh, no shit.
Really?
Stockton, motherfucker.
San Joaquin.
Over there.
General. Yeah.
I was out there.
So Masvidal Diaz, I would like older brother Diaz. I would like to see that. So as we know,
Diaz,
Connor's moved up. Connor put Cowboy away in spectacular fashion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of challenges for him at 170.
What do you think his chances are against Masvidal?
Oh, what weight are they doing it at?
170 probably.
170.
Yeah, that's where Masvidal is right now. I think there's a lot of challenges for Conor at 170. Like, there's so many powerhouse wrestlers in that division that Masvidal is the only fight I see him signing anytime soon that he has a chance as far as like the long odds on any fight. Like Masvidal's got a fucking crazy gas tank. He go. Like, he's tough as shit. He's tailor made for Conor's style. You know what I mean? That said, Conor's style is tailor made for a guy like Masvidal, where if Conor can't break him physically with his power, he's in for a long night, and Conor doesn't really like long nights. You know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those where it's gonna be all really about if Conor can hit him with that fucking death touch that he has, or can Masvidal, because he's now shown he can do the same thing. Can he land that flying knee? Can he score that fucking big left hook that he dropped Darren Till and crushed him with? Can he fucking, shut it down like he did with Nate? Because I mean, that Nate fight, I've never seen anybody toss a beating on Nate like that. Not even when he lost to Josh Thompson did he catch a beating like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was fuck, man. That was
even when Benson Henderson beat him. Even when
if that fight went later, Nick wasn't going to go down. Nate wasn't going to go down, and he was just going to get battered. He was just going to get fucking bludgeoned and beaten bloody.
He was all beat up, but I think he was taking a lot of punishment too, man. I think it was
it got stopped. It got stopped.
He was getting the fuck beat out of him.
He's one of those guys who will eat a shot to get in to give a shot.
But he wasn't getting the exchange. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was just eating shots at a certain point.
That's not how you fight in Stockton. You get the shit beat out of you, and then when they're like, "Is this shit done?" You get up and you start hitting them back.
Yeah, but when those
Nah,
guys
but Masvidal was taking no damage,
Yeah,
and there
exactly.
was no sign. There was no sign that Nick was going to
I know.
that Nate was going to
I know.
start putting anything together.
Yeah, he was in trouble.
Yeah,
He was in trouble.
definitely
He was in deep water with Masvidal. So that right there to me was like a big bump for Masvidal cardio wise. You know what I mean? To hang on that pace for that length.
For
Because
sure.
that was, I think
For
it was
sure.
what was the third round stoppage.
It was going into
I don't know.
it was going into the fourth.
Yeah, it was a main event fight. So I think
Yeah.
it was the beginning of the third.
Yeah,
That was
and
beginning
so
of the fourth.
was
They
it?
did 3
No,
full
I didn't go to the
rounds.
fourth.
Yeah, they did 3 full. Got the fucking internet.
Either way, I mean,
Making me type
either way,
this.
late in the third or early in the fourth, it's the same kind of time we're talking here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so what either way, that was a really big test, I think, for Masvidal right there, because Diaz is a guy that's so hard to stop.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
What do
Fucking-
you?
It was a good win.
Okay,
Nothing beats that Askren knee, though. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, round
Fucking-
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Askren got exposed too. That guy is not what everybody was hyping him up to be.
No, I mean, the UFC's a whole different animal. We saw it in the past with
Yeah.
the guys from Pride when a big batch of them came
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Some did amazing and some had a
Yeah.
lot of trouble. You know what I mean?
This is like the third wave of it, right? So you got the beginning when everybody was specialized, right? And then you got
Mhm.
then they started. You got the second wave where they started putting it together, where they're like, oh, we gotta diversify our training. Everybody's got to have some jujitsu game
Right.
now, right? You got to be able to wrestle. And now you're getting those dudes. You're getting this wave of guys like athletes who maybe like the NFL. They wanted to go to the NFL or something, and they couldn't. You know, like a
Right.
Brendan Schaub or like a lot of Matt Mitrione, these guys who
Sure.
used to play NFL. They're coming over. They're athletes,
Yeah,
and
higher
they're
level
coming-
athletes, absolutely.
and they're coming over, and you're getting people who have grown up training MMA. Like all they know is everything. Like
Absolutely.
they never. So
Killers.
it's like skateboarding or like these musicians that come. You get it like. It's like
There's levels to this shit.
it extrapolates, but it like one level builds on the other level. You never. It's the
Absolutely.
next generation is always this much better than the last.
Yeah, you're always
because
standing on the shoulders of the people who came
yeah,
before
they're
you.
putting this shit together, and it's like whoa.
At
you
my
know?
gym now, there's a couple, and I think one's a black belt, one's a brown belt, and their kid is like the highest belt that you can be for like an under certain age person.
Yeah,
And the kid is a fucking ace,
Yeah.
man. Like
Yeah.
the kid is just like he's like 14, 15 years old, something like that, and he's just like phenomenal. And it's like wow, if he
like,
stays till he's 25, like
oh yeah,
holy
and
shit.
he's got family in it, right?
Exactly,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
So he's definitely gonna be a black belt.
Yeah, his mom and pop are
Yeah.
coaches. Like the kid is like is just
Yeah. It's not even
his
it's not even
thinking
gonna
is
be
different at this point.
yeah, of course, but it's not even gonna be an option of him to like quit. Like his parents are gonna be like they've ingrained it in him so long that it's like a part of his life now. Like
And
he's
it's
not
one of
gonna-
those things where you see kids like that, and you're like, that's the next
Yeah.
thing. When I was competing, the level was so low. It was so baseline. There were so many bums. There's so many tough guy wannabes. There's so many
Yeah.
people who didn't have well-rounded skill set that you could look like a world beater for a while. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you were lucky or smart in your picks or whatever, like, and yeah, that was a fun way of life for a while. My old bass player
Yeah.
from FLA, Gabe Stanley, he was one of my training partners. We would travel all around fucking the region to go do grappling tournaments, kickboxing like matches, whatever, like wrapped in fucking garbage bags, trying to cut weight and shit. Fucking driving with the heat on in my fucking Mercury Cougar, like talking about like going on tour with the band. It's the same kind of energy where it's like you're cutting weight and you're just eating, like looking at each other eating spinach in a hotel room with the fucking shower running on hot, so it gets hot as a motherfucker in there and you can sweat off the last 2 pounds. And then the fun is if you get the medal on that fucking night, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a good day.
That's neither here nor there. That's just like the end result. But
Yeah.
that's the whole journey up to it. Yeah.
But
KJ, what did you think about that Adesanya fight, that last one?
I didn't get to see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
I saw the highlights. I saw like probably like I would say 75-80% of the fight. Like
who was he fighting? Yoel?
Yoel
Romero.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a disappointing fight. It was one of those fights where
I read about it. I heard about it. I heard it was a lot of like nobody wanting to
engage.
A lot of like overly respecting
The
each
last
other.
four
But I
and a
mean,
half
sometimes it
seconds
happens.
The last 4.5
I'd
seconds
respect
were
that.
fun.
fucking gorilla too. That dude's, man, Yoel's a fucking, talk about a freak of nature, dude. Holy
Dude,
shit.
Yoel's one. The joke too is with Cuban athletes. It's like, yeah, imagine if he would have come over in his 20s. Everybody's like, yeah, he's 75 years old already. Fucking,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
old is he?
He does his age. His birth
He's
certificate
saying
has
he's
long
42
been gone, bro.
fucking-
Yeah. Did you listen to the Joe Rogan when he had him on and
Yeah. And Joey Diaz was the translator. Tremendous.
Joey Diaz is my favorite.
Bro,
But yeah,
tremendous.
he had some shit to say about, like their training program was like what you ate depended on like
How
how
much
good you
food your
ate
family
depended
got.
on, yeah.
Like,
What?
fuck yeah, bro.
That'll make you get good real quick, bro.
The difference between number one and
That'll
number
make
two
you
is
get
a
good
whole
real
different
quick.
life, man. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Well, that guy's a special kind of animal, man. There's not a lot of people.
He's a
Yeah,
genetic
he was an
freak,
Olympian.
like,
Yeah, he was an Olympian.
yeah.
There's not a lot of people like that. There's not a lot of humans that,
He's a freak.
yeah, fucking totally.
But he just can't. He's like one of those dudes you just can't seem to put it together. Like him, like Cowboy, they just can't. Like they get the shot and they just.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cowboy's a sad one too because the guy's just so likable. You want to see him win.
He's like a world beater in all the other fights, and he gets to a title match, and I don't know, like, I don't know if it's a mental thing.
Chael
or,
Sonnen was another guy like that.
Yeah, well, Chael had the unfortunate reality of like he was around when Anderson Silva was.
The era he was in is definitely like, yeah.
And he
That's
took
like
it.
the
He
guys
took it to. He fucking took
That
it to
first
Anderson
fight,
in that
yeah.
fight, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that first fight.
Yeah, the
No,
second-
and look. Imagine the guys who had the misfortune of being in the light heavyweight during the reign of a prime Chuck Liddell. You know what I mean?
Or John Jones right
whomever.
now.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where, like,
Talk about getting eclipsed.
dude,
You're fucked. You gotta think
some
about
guys,
cutting weight.
Some guys like that you just. You're a heavyweight boxing boxer in the era of Muhammad Ali. Good fucking luck,
Yeah.
bro. Good luck,
Yeah.
George Chuvalo. Good
Yeah.
luck. Good luck, Ernie Shavers. Have a great fucking career and fucking brain damage. Good luck. Like, that's what drives me nuts about young dudes like getting into the fight game and talking about it, and like they think it's like a glorious fucking it's gruel. It's
Yeah, that's the
Man.
same thing with music, right? People are like, "Oh, you play music? That must be great." And I'm like, "Yeah, sometimes."
there's a grind to everything.
All the rest of the
Oh,
shit
yeah.
that you don't see.
Like,
It must be so
grind.
awesome. You get to play music and like get paid and like hang out and party with your
no,
boys. I'm like,
well, you're
yeah,
like, get
but-
paid. Hold on, like,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
get paid
Yeah,
for a
get
while.
paid.
You don't get
One of the
paid
best
for a
memes
while.
that I've seen recently
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I've calculated all the gigs that I've lost that we've missed over this past quarantine, and it turns out I saved $243.
Yeah.
Or like,
That fucking is it right there.
There's another good meme where people are like, oh, I need to work or whatever, or something like that, and then like the musicians are like, but imagine all like the free exposure you're getting or whatever.
Yeah, imagine all the
Without
exposure
getting paid.
you get
You know
though.
what I'm talking about? That
Yeah,
way?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Like,
That shit's hilarious.
yeah, like
always
people
like
are
that.
seeing what it's like to be a musician now. It's like cool, yeah. Oh, you want to be a musician? It's just like this. It's just like this.
It's
Have fun.
it's just asking somebody to pay you.
Yeah.
Like as a musician, you're like, oh yeah. By the way, like,
Yeah.
That's
can we
like
talk money?
baptism.
Can we talk money? And they're like, oh, what do you mean?
Yeah, I
You won't
mean,
do it for
what?
free?
That's your
Well,
baptism
Joe,
as a
you're
musician.
what?
We'll have to
You're
shake
in
down a bar manager
you're in
and
10,
do-
11 years now, right?
Yeah.
As a professional musician.
Well, with this band, yeah, I was playing before that too.
Yeah. So I mean, like like you have to claw your way to be
Yeah.
an established, reputable operation.
And even then, you're still gonna, it's just a difference of like having to knock on people's doors. We get more people hitting us up for stuff. We got to that point, where we don't really have to
Right.
go sneaky gigs.
Yeah.
Like that's why sometimes if we play a place and we don't like it, and it's a pain in the ass, it's just fuck it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
You
whatever.
gotta love that. You
Yeah.
gotta love having the
I
freedom
know.
for that instead of being like, we gotta take this gig and be like, this place is awful, but we gotta come back.
Fucking A.
We don't do that very often, but if it gets to that extreme case where it's just like, fuck it, we just won't play.
That's a
anymore.
great. No, that's like so much effort to get there, to get to
Yeah,
that spot.
to not give a fuck.
Yeah, to get a little bit of that.
You gotta give so much fucks that you don't give a fuck.
So true. So fucking true. Oh man.
Yeah. Dude.
Well, shit, boys. We've been going for about 2 hours, I think. Yeah.
1
Oh,
hour,
jeez.
59 minutes and 17 seconds.
There we go, gentlemen.
Uh-oh, new record.
Yeah. I think that was a great fucking Corona cast.
That was.
Yeah, that was fun.
Woo.
Fucking A right.
I'm gonna play the
Hey guys, my name's Matt.
Facebook thingy.
What's that?
Matt Krug.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
play
yeah.
Well, and
Talk
again,
about-
just like last podcast, whomever shares the episode, I was doing a drawing the whole time that we were talking. So whoever shares this episode will get an original piece shipped
Nice.
to them. Shit, and Mike will put in the description.
Oh, nice.
What do you call how that goes down? You figured it out last time.
You
Mike.
are so not tech savvy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll send Mike the drawing. Mike will figure it out.
You can just.
It's so bad because, like, in our operation, like, he's so not tech savvy that I'm like the tech guy, and it's like I'm not the tech. Like, I'm a
I should
boomer.
not be the tech guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a boomer,
I'm
and I have like
one
light
layer
years.
of body hair away from being a fucking complete Neanderthal. The fact that I can manage to maintain human relationships, I haven't eaten my kid, none of that's happened. That alone is amazing. I'm at the point now where I'm singing songs. That's all I want to do. I don't gotta break no body parts on people. It's a beautiful life. It's fucking great. I'm happy. I'm talking into a phone right now that's plugged into a thing. I'm not sure what you call the thing that's plugged into. I got these on. Beautiful. That's a tech savvy thing. I can turn on my Xbox. I can make YouTube play through my Xbox. That's all I fucking need to figure out. That's it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
All right.
I feel. Yeah. I make things on the TVs and stuff.
Oh, Mike. Like I said in the beginning, if my part of this is the seed of creativity, Mike is the fucking fertile soil.
I also make music too.
Right on.
I make music. See there, I'm a brilliant musician now.
Very musical. So yeah, at the end here, Novolozo, you said you're gonna play Matt's thing. Yeah.
And also.
So we were talking about that before, right? We should talk about that a little bit.
Wait, real quick, before we do that. The winner of your last drawing is just Marlon.
Okay.
He's the only one that commented.
Okay.
He won by default.
That's beautiful.
He won by default. So there's that.
Well, there you go.
But
so hurry up and be the only person to comment.
No, there's 3 people, but apparently Mike is one of them. Mike is one of them. You're the other one.
I'm one of them.
And then John Paul is the only other one. That's it.
Well, I guess it goes to John Paul by default.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody else comments, more people should comment. Yeah. So if you guys
boys,
explain what this is about.
Yeah,
we're gonna.
Yeah, he's gonna run the video that Matt made, the safe prop video.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
So give us a little insight to that, Mike. You're the closest to.
Let us know.
To that.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, we actually I've been working at a musician-run, musician-owned music venue for the last 9 years, and it's one of the last original music venues in the area. Like, you can just literally any genre, any type of music. You play originals, we let it ride. I don't need to hear fucking Freebird or fucking whatever the fuck these kids are into these days. But yeah, due to the shutdown, like we just been keeping the lights on. I mean, the margins are low, so we go from month to month, just like everyone else goes paycheck to paycheck. But with this whole shutdown going on, we've been closed a month, pretty much a solid month now, just about, and probably gonna roll on into the next month. So we got bills piling up, and we gotta fucking be able to kickstart it back up if we ever want to open up again. So this is a video about it. If you guys want to donate.
Yeah, keep this place alive. It's a special kind of venue, man. It's the kind of place where a lot of people have gotten their little start and gotten their feet off the ground and gotten a lot of love. It's a great community, and that place is at the center of it.
I've been playing there since it opened, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Everybody's played there.
Yeah.
It's a great place. All right, guys. Well, this was a great podcast.
Yeah, it's really fun, gentlemen.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks for having me, boys.
It's great seeing you guys' faces.
Yeah,
I
man.
can't wait till Uncle Sam gives us the all clear and we can do it in person.
yeah,
Yes,
for
sir.
real.
Yeah, definitely.
I did want to talk about that too. Like, DB Studios is where we're gonna be doing this when it's live. So, shout out to
Oh
my
yeah,
my boss, Dustin, that runs
Dustin.
DB Studios.
Very cool.
Woo! Yes, he's also shut down for a month too. Like, if you wanna, record stuff, uh, let me know. I'm the worst at all of
All
this.
right.
All right. That's why you guys talk and I just press all the buttons. Okay.
I love you, bro.
All right, guys.
All
Bye.
right, guys.
All
Have a
right,
great
boys.
Yeah,
night,
Stay
have a
man.
good
safe,
one.
guys.
Love you,
Yeah, you
boys.
stay safe as
Yeah.
well.
Take
See you
Yeah,
care.
man.
later.
Talk to you guys later.
Oh.
If you don't know Propaganda,
We clear?
we're a bar live music venue
Is it all
located
good?
in Lake Worth, Florida.
Yeah.
While as a bar, most
Are
of
we
our
still?
income,
We're
yeah,
still. We're
comes
still
from
going.
alcohol, but our main product that brings people in is the music. While we
Were we
might have a
supposed to be like
tribute
an
band or
80s
cover
freeze
band
frame?
here and there, our main
Yeah.
focus is local, original, live music. Everything from metal to punk to indie, ska,
No, he's playing the
acoustic,
prop
folk,
video
you
now.
name it, we do it. Besides the locals, we give fans
Oh,
the
can they hear
opportunity to
us?
see national touring acts in an intimate setting,
Oh,
up
I
close
muted
and
it.
in person, whether they're bands coming up on fame like Ballyhoo, Pacifier, or living legends like Joey Ramone. You get to see them right there on that stage. Small original music venues like ours are vital to the music scene and the community as a whole, and unfortunately they're disappearing left and right across the country. A venue like Prop is where a musician might play his very first show and share his art and creativity with the world for the very first time. It's also a place where a musician might take the stage for his very last time. A venue like Propaganda is where somebody might meet their very best friend or their significant other. A venue like Prop is where somebody who's trying to figure themselves out can show up dressed how they want to dress, acting how they want to act, being who they want to be, and they're welcome with open arms, with no discrimination against sex, age, social class, identity, gender, anything, and they become part of the family and they find themselves. A venue like Prop, we've had weddings here. We've had some funerals here. We've had benefits for national tragedies and causes, and we've had benefits for local friends who are just down on their luck. A venue like Prop is a community, and it's a community I'm proud to consider a family. Things are absolutely crazy in the world today. With this COVID-19 virus and the forced shutdown of businesses all across the country and across the world, it put an immediate stop for all of our brothers and sisters in the hospitality and entertainment industry's income, most of us which live paycheck to paycheck. Propaganda's been around 12 years this April, 9 of which I've had the privilege to steer the ship for. Despite what you might think, there's not a lot of money in it, and Prop itself lives month to month just like we live paycheck to paycheck. But for 9 years, I've managed to pull it off. But with this forced shutdown for 30 days and no idea what's to come after that, this is the first time that I've had to ask for help, and I don't know if I'll be able to keep the doors open without it. Everyone is hurting right now, and if you're one of our musicians or fellow in the biz peeps who are out of work, please, we do not want you to overextend yourself and give to us. We also know that there's lots of other causes and benefits out there that may be more deserving than us. And if you feel that way, that's fine. Please give, donate, and help wherever you feel best. But if you're lucky enough to still have your job, or if you're just stable and financially able to, and you've caught a show of Propaganda, or Propaganda has just touched your life in some way, you can help save this local live music venue. To answer a couple questions for you, one, why did we set our goal at $18,000? Well, Propaganda's Facebook has 18,000 plus likes on it. Hopefully that means that many people have come to shows of Propaganda, connected with Prop some way, and care enough about Prop that they'd want to help. And that's just an average of $1 per person. So even if you can only afford to give $1, it is going to help. Question two, what are we going to do with the money? Where is it going to go? Well, a big portion immediately is going to go directly to our employees so that they can survive this time while they can't work. Another portion is obviously going to go to pay our bills so that we are able to reopen when the forced shutdown is lifted. Another portion we really want to invest during this time that we're down in improvements to propaganda so that when we come back, propaganda can be better than ever and the music can live on for years to come. If you do decide to give and you have ideas for improvements you'd like to see here at Propaganda, please feel free to put them in the comments below. We will take them very seriously because we want to give you the best venue that we can. There's lots of different benefits listed in the details for different levels of giving, so please give whatever you feel you can. And on behalf of the Propaganda family, we're so grateful. Thank you.